Okay. Hello, hello. It is really weird that I can't hear it. Okay, I can hear something. There's just no music, which is really weird. Hi. We're back on Chaos Child. I know we just played it last night. As I mentioned on Twitter, I took on some work that is going to have me traveling in a couple of weeks, so I wanted to put in some extra streams so that to kind of compensate for that. So, I'm Kels. I'm going to be voicing literally everything. We just finished the first arc. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. It's so goddamn fucked up, but I loved it. And the more I think about it, the more I both like love it and hate it. But let's recap what we did yesterday. So the sumo grocery crowd slapped stickers everywhere, and a decoy posed for us at the public suicide. Siddika was overwhelmed by the crowd's thoughts, calling for our blood, and saw mind-controlled people. Shinjo and Mio planned to take us to Akihabara, and she's keeping our decoy locked up longer. Siddika called to admit she killed our parents. Hinae slapped us for contemplating going into a death scenario, but we went anyways. Mio gave a surprisingly touching goodbye that we ruined. Yeah, that was. Look, I get our thing about Kay, but also, yeah, that was not really the time. Shinjo drove us to the theater where we saw Sirika with Dad's corpse and fought her, but it was fake and she let us kill her. Sakuma used his machine to freeze us and make us repeatedly experience the battle between Nono and Sirika for 30 days as a send up to Woodburn Heron's sensory deprivation experiments. In the Dirac Sea, we asked the vision of Sirika what we made her for and figured out she caters to our every desire. Serika told us to avenge Nono only and not her, and we formed a powerful delusion to pull Sakuma into and break his machine. Without his powers, we got back up, but the D sword was still there. Sakuma threatened to kill the rest of our loved ones as revenge, so we stabbed his throat. Serika's D sword then stabbed us in the stomach. We saw her memories of her plotting the whole thing with Sakuma to let us solve a mystery. Despite Sirika's warnings, we're choosing to take responsibility for the crimes. We fought her for real this time and defeated her with numerous D swords. We had a phone call with Mio about Sirika's psychopathy and began reprogramming Sirika into a normal girl with our D sword despite her protests. Alba Dorm is slowly going back to normal, and Ito might be growing free, but Sakuma's past is a blank slate. Yeah, basically, we found out everything that we found out about the committee and stuff was a lie. So, I don't know exactly what is going to happen, or what anything with Sakuma actually is, other than he's a normal dude, that can use powers. So, that'll be interesting. Let's see. But yeah, the reveal that Sedika's actual thing was basically to set us up like a hero, and recreate the New Generation Madness murders just because, or the New Generation murders because we were so obsessed with them. Like, ah, like I can't really blame him because he had this thought, this desire during a crisis, but also like yeah, it all got fucked up. So, we're starting on our first routes. So first one is Hinae. I don't know if I need to continue or start a new game. So, I think I must need to start a new game. Let me. Hey, there is an ending list. Okay. Okay. So I think we've now unlocked it, and we can start a new game. Okay, we're going to skip past everything that we've already seen. So yeah, we're going to do the Adimoto route first. I have a walkthrough that will tell me what delusions to do. Oh hey, we get to watch the opening again. So yeah, I'll be following along with that and making the correct choices. We'll see how it goes. It'll be a little bit before we meet Hinae, so I should have done the recap while this was playing because I assume that most of this is going to be the same unless we retain some sort of knowledge of what happened or what we did last time. There we go. Plot twist. The Peen delusion is mandatory for all routes. That was a weird delusion. We've had some really weird delusions, though. Like the gender swap with Hana. That was weird, too. So Okay, so we're in chapter 1 now. I think that last one we did an entire stream for, and it took us like a minute and a half, but that's okay. Okay, so the only delusions we seem to care about are delusions in scenes involving Hinae. So we're just gonna keep going. Unless someone wants to see one of these. Since they're being so polite. I don't know exactly what this thing is. True, come to think, why was it so polite? Anyway, maybe they are. What do you think? Think it's polite. Nobody's ever. Oh, this is the whole magazine article because no one's ever asked her out. Okay. All right. Just gonna keep going. We're gonna get into this. Holy shit! Like realizing that Serika did all of this now, like, oh my god, she made a guy cut up his own arm. Okay, I don't think this one doesn't have anything to do with Hinae because we haven't met her yet. So, da 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 da. We're just not gonna have any delusions. Hey, no. Glad to see you alive again. Missed you, loved you. Yeah. Still can't really stand you, but that's okay. I don't have to deal with you this route, I assume. I could be wrong. Maybe I do, but... Oh yeah, I forgot we saw Nono's underwear. And almost died. Thinking about all the fan service that happened at the beginning of this game, like, what the hell? Hi, Hana. Alright. Let's keep going. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the whole Serika thing is some, like, how do he, Suzumiya, we have to fake a murder mystery so she doesn't actually wish for a real murder to solve. Like, it did go horribly wrong. Although, I think Serika said that our dad planned the murders. If I remember that from our final scene, or I guess not the final scene, but one of the scenes with her, like the flashback scenes. So, and with the mind control, like I don't know how much she actually did and how much was him. Because like you'd think mind control would make it easier, right? Okay, yeah, Love Hotel. We're about to see a dead body. We're about to see a man's head come off if you missed that stream. Door opens. Hell of a time for our powers to activate. Hi, Hinae, love you. I love how she became best girl just because she wasn't A, dead, or B, didn't murder everyone. Like, our standards were on the floor. I mean, I guess by that standard, like, how's Hana in there? Does she get to qualify for the Best Girl Awards? Alright, I think we're getting close-ish. Because we've now met Hinae. Okay, now we're going to have all those flashbacks. Still didn't figure out what was up with our homeroom teacher. Yeah, we do usually like murderers, but murdering the people we do like is generally a deal breaker. You know what? Honestly, I would have been okay with it up until Yui. Between the whole Yui and Ito thing, like, that was a little bit too much for me. But the fact that she had really no choice in any of it is also really fucked up, so... Yeah, she's still alive, didn't kill anyone we care about, and not a cop. No, I mean, Hana is still alive, didn't kill anyone we care about, and not a cop. She just also doesn't talk. She keeps giving us candy, though, so, like, at least we get something from her. That stupid ghetto froggy strap. I have trauma now. Here's when we have that whole conversation that we had the flashback to last night. Let's see. Everyone knows that. Oh, this is the one that we tried to um like dose her, if I remember correctly. So I'm glad. Here's the alternate scene, I guess.
Taku, is this the page? It's in your history.
Whoops. I forgot to delete it. That's right. I just confirmed it. You always need to double check your information. I don't know what we're talking about.
Hmm? Oh, you're right.
Sedika looked at the page on the PC and nodded. That was close. I let my guard down because I hadn't thought Sedika was coming over. I made 2 more cups of kakonto and handed one to Sedika.
Thanks. Gen's such a nice guy. I like him.
Yeah, we didn't try to dose her this time in our delusion. Let me just say I'm very glad that that one didn't happen, so. Exactly, definitely don't want to roofie Sedika. Like, that's nice and fucked up, so. Hated that one when we first did it. Okay, what is going on? Kurisu, oh. Kurisu's mad at us for the 18 millionth time. Okay, here's the picture of the body. Don't know which one we're talking about. I think my walkthrough has it. Okay, I think this is chapter 1. Here's the photo of the body. Da 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 da. Love how it lets me skip things, but it doesn't actually let me skip this. There we go.
You could have gotten the good ending if you didn't fantasize about drugging me. This is all your fault.
Okay, so I've done that one. So now it's that one. And let's see. That one. A nice little sumo sticker that was now we know was planted. We're making the new generation madness. I guess the old generation madness now. Gonna get to watch this man's head come off. Like, when did she do all of this in hindsight? Like, I think she really only got away with this because we are such a, okay, perfect. First route. So we are going to do positive. Oops, what was she doing here?
Takaru, what brings you 3 here?
Oh, no.
Hmm?
The woman, no, the girl stared at us suspiciously. And then, for the first time, she realized that I couldn't take my eyes off her.
Huh? What's wrong with you people?
Oh, uh, the words wouldn't come out. What do I say? Why was she here? Why was she acting so normal? All right.
Hello. I'm Nonokurusu's younger sister.
The girl suddenly smiled and bowed. Sister? This is gonna be a fucking weird one. Yeah, I remember when we first fantasized about her stabbing us. That was fun. You're lying. Kurusu never talked about having a sister.
We were separated during the Shibuya quake. I thought she was dead and had just given up hope.
Takuru, they don't even have the same blonde. Like, come on, man.
I can't believe we've been reunited. Miracles really do happen, don't they?
There were tears in Kudus's eyes. Then this girl really was her little sister? This is the weirdest delusion already. I was still having trouble believing it as the girl walked right up to me.
Are you Takuru Miyashiro?
Huh? Yeah, that's right. How did she know my name?
Then you're my big brother, aren't you?
Huh? What did you say?
Is that right?
Oh, no. Oh, man, I don't want to be here.
Well, Takuru is basically my big sister's little brother, right?
Do I have... Give me just a second. Config. Yeah, I forgot I turned the background volume off. Sorry. There we go. What the hell? That doesn't make any sense at all. I turned to Kurusu for help.
Takuru, be nice to her. I can't wait to learn all about you, big brother.
Yeah, we're back in Alabama. Yeah, oh man, I don't like this. And all of a sudden, I had a little sister. Things around here were about to get a lot more complicated. I mean, I guess this is better than her stabbing us that one time, so, you know. Okay, or not. Not a chance in hell. There was no way this girl was Kurusu's little sister. Not that I had any idea what she was doing here. Alright. Alright, we're about to have another positive delusion with her. In the hotel.
The hotel?
What were you doing in that hotel? A moment. It felt like her body moved for just a moment.
Arimura?
I could see Kurusu frown in the corner of my eye. She was looking at me. Her expression hadn't changed, but for some reason it felt like she was looking me over.
Hmm. And then she smiled.
Huh?
Do you want to know?
Well... Just as I spoke, she leaned over and whispered in my ear.
Then why don't we go together next time?
Huh?
What? What did she say? It's a secret between me and Miyashiro.
Well, that was a nice short one. Alright. Let's end this one. I forgot that she asks us to say what we were doing there out loud. So she was using her power then. I had almost forgotten about this murder, I'm not gonna lie. It's been so long since we saw this. Yeah, that's true. Like, the Hinae sister play is slightly less creepy than Nono's brother complex because we weren't raised with Hinae, and so it's not, like, emotionally incestuous. Also, we don't literally call her our little sister 95% of the time. So, that's nice and creepy. I don't know that I ship Nono, with us, just because, again, like, it feels, like, weirdly emotionally incestuous. That's a good way to put it. But also, mm-mm. Yeah, not into any of that. Having our first freak out at the sumo sticker. Forgot how much I fucking hated that. Alright, chapter 2. Nikshi sticker. It's really interesting how they keep, like, so Nikshi is sumo wrestler. And so, like, they're just not. The translation is a little weird on this, I think. It could also use a good copy editor. Not gonna lie, but okay. Great, get to have it once again. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you deal with it. Yeah, biological, emotional, and legal. Like those are good ones to not cross, I think. Okay,
Yakisoba, salmon rice balls, cream bread, a chocolate cornet, bean jam bun, and a grapefruit for me.
you've got the world's most inefficient metabolism. You're a girl, right?
I am, yeah. Why?
Don't make that why are you asking face at me.
Here you go, Hana. Have a lollipop. She's playing Esso too, huh? Here you go, Hana. Are you chatting? Hmm? Come on, don't hide it. Did you get a rare item? Mmm.
A strange kind of grappling match began as Kazuki tried to hide the screen and Serika tried to see it. I don't know. Huh? You know, the newspaper club's got 2 guys and 3 girls. That's a pretty good ratio, right? Where did that come from?
So why don't we feel more like normals? When I watch those girls go at it like that. Okay, I'll give you some squid. You'd think we'd find it at least a little exciting.
Hold on, I've told you before, I'm a normal. Should I give you another lecture? I don't need any more of those. Anyway, Onoe.
Where's the vice president? Oh,
Serika froze. Alright. I'm going to get quizzed once again, so let me find my answers. Because we're clearly not paying attention enough to remember what we are, what our delusions were this time. Because we were wrong on, like, all of this shit. Exactly. The girls are here for their own reason and not for our viewing pleasure. They deserve to get to hang out and do their own thing. Also, if one of them is attracted to Serika, like any of them, does that mean they're technically attracted to us? Like, how does that work? Does that work? Like, how much of Serika is us? Alright, Hinae is back, which means we're about to have some delusions. I think we've had this one. I think this is her magical girl moment. Yeah, I knew him. That was the detective who'd visited the interrogation room during our questioning.
sorry. I've got to take care of something. Can you get the stuff for me?
Arimura suddenly bowed to the other 2. They seemed about to say something, but they must have seen the detective and thought better of it.
We'll text you later.
They left. That's true. Yeah, maybe they just have the same taste in girls as us.
Isn't that a little unreasonable?
Her voice sounded different, like someone had flipped a switch somewhere inside her.
So what kind of case?
Yeah, this is our... I did like magical police girl, Arimura. I guess technically she is a cop in that, so, you hear... That's a, like... Thinking through on the whole, like, they have the same taste in girls as us. Like, I wonder if our taste in girls affected the way that Serika looks at all. I don't know, like, to what extent Serika is influenced by us, if that makes sense. I'm very interested, though. I don't know if we'll ever find out. Alright. The whole K reveal. If I remember correctly, she's blowing up our video at this point. That's true. She only dons the cop uniform for fetish purposes and not actually engaging in cop activity. And to be fair, she didn't actually don the cop uniform. We just imagined her in the cop uniform. So, like the wrong sider we are. Okay. Don't really care on this one. I still felt sick. Skip past the thumbnail.
Okay, I don't like it either.
She skipped past the image of the sumo sticker and started to scroll through just the comments.
Don't rip off Watabe. No, this one was really uploaded first. We are the victims of the mainstream media.
You can ignore that debate. Grep for anything with the word sticker in it.
Okay. Oh.
I'm not seeing anything useful. One guy was calling it the Fatso sticker. Another was saying sumo sticker is my waifu. Most of the comments were talking about Watabe's article, not the content of the video. It had turned into a full-scale war over the honor of Nikonia News. All right. Oh, that froggy strap. We're home. I hate you, Dad, but, giving a whole new definition to father issues here. Look at our family. We're all together. Actually, I think we're not technically. Oh, we must be all together because this is our room. Or are we in Nono's head? I don't remember. Love you, Nono. Even if you do have a weird brother complex. That is weird. I'm very interested to find out why she has a D sword because I don't think we ever figured. Oh, the peeing thing. That's true. We did not have father issues until our father decided to make it an issue. Okay. 2 hours, huh? I didn't know being quiet and doing nothing was so tiring. Sirika had her arms crossed over her knees. She looked upset. Was I imagining it, or had she been really fidgety over the last 10 minutes?
It's weird. I never thought I'd be spending hours in a girl's bathroom stall with you at this age.
Don't say that. I'm just hanging there a little longer.
I can if you want. But I don't think that there's much of a point to this.
Sirika sighed a little. I looked away from her. I was starting to fidget a little, maybe because we'd been talking about going to the bathroom. All right, what happens if we don't have the delusion about peeing in front of her?
Okay, let's go, Taku. We can come back tomorrow.
Okay, we just then don't have a delusion. We literally sabotaged ourselves on that one. All right, our trip inside the psych ward. I am really interested in how Serika knew all of the stuff about the Giglomaniacs and stuff like that as well. There's a lot of questions that I now have about how she actually pulled this off. Hi, Uki, I love you. You deserved so much better than what you got. Oh, that's right. Nono got stabbed. And then we got punched. Forgot about all this. Sorry, Nono. Nono just did not have a good time of things. If, like, she did all of this just for us, I will be so upset. Alright, our club's getting shut down. Except for the Culture Festival. We're all back to normal. Back to theorizing. Alright, Chapter 3, the School Festival. I think this is our last trigger that we have to do. Alright, getting ready for the Culture Festival. Or the Restoration Festival, whichever festival it is. Is this our body swap one? Well, I may as well go. I'll help you. You don't have to drag me.
Hmm.
I decided to follow Kazuki. No, I think this was our body swap one. No, knowing Kazuki, there was no way. I just needed to get this done. And not swap bodies with her. Kazuki trying to give us all her snacks. The weirdos in the sumo masks. Alright, back to Hinae. Do-do-do-do-do. And let's do another positive delusion. No? Of course not.
No idea?
That was the only thing I could think of. But seeing the way she acted today, it was hard to believe that it was the same girl. Which is the real her? Oh, is this our first yaoi manga reenaction? The reason she brought me here must be... You've got such a... Yes, you've got such a great voice, Miyashiro. I want you to voice act my yaoi fanfiction. Amazing. I love how that's what we've... Oh, we got a trophy for that. Adios, gracias. Oh, yeah, the yaoi. I love how that was our delusion of her. We've got the weirdest opinion of her, and I love that for us. Like, we thought she was Kazuki's... Not Kazuki's, Kurisu's little sister. Then we thought that she was doing police cosplay magical girl bullshit. Then she came on to us, and now we think she reads yaoi. Like, what in the world do we think about this girl? All right, that is our last choice. So I don't know exactly when our route is going to start, but it's going to deviate at some point. So let's find out. We make up. We don't kiss. Not that I wanted to kiss him, but we get the creepy phone call.
Tickle, tickle, tickle. Hmm. Hey, no running. Hmm.
Hey, stop screwing around and sleep. Oh. Yeah, I remember this delusion. I didn't like this delusion. Ito took out his phone. LCD screen lit up. What's up? I forgot. It's almost midnight. Oh.
Okay.
Much more palatable. All right, now we get the creepy call. Da 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 da. Culture festival. Everything's all good. Except that it's not going to end well. See, like, the only way that any of this works is if it's mind control. But also, I still don't understand how he had that many sumo stickers in his stomach. Like, was he mind controlled to swallow them? That doesn't make any sense, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There's still holes in the story. And I want to know them. Maybe, but like... I guess maybe his machine can alter, like, what? things he's got? I don't know. Like what powers he has? And he's just kind of landed on mind control because it's the most helpful at each time. Oh, there you go. The stickers were shrunk and then expanded like the Thanos meme. It's a possibility. Okay. At some point, it's probably going to make me pick things in. Okay, yeah, they had special powers. We figured that one out. Watabe is dead. People are talking bullshit. I silently looked up at the building. No, no way. That was impossible. I was 90% sure of it. I gave up and headed to Kuris's room. Don't know what was impossible, but something was impossible. Gonna have ourselves another moment with Nono before she dies. I don't know. I don't even know what chapter she died in. Felt like she was dead for a long time, or maybe we just saw her die a lot. I didn't realize she got stabbed this early, so I think I kept saying that shit was going down as soon as like we finished chapter 2. So all right, back into the hospital. I think we're about to go but down in the basement. Yep. Here's our trip with Meal. I mean, I guess that like assuming that Dad was a scientist, which I guess we can't even fully confirm that one. She would know all of the stuff that he had in his head because she could read his mind. So she would know about things like the sumo stickers, maybe? I don't know. All right, Gigalomaniacs, Chapter 5. Oh, that's right. I forgot we had that weird delusion of Mew. She ended up somewhat still being a monster, but just not looking like one. I will say she does have a route, I think, if I remember correctly. So that's definitely probably going to be interesting. Let's see. Never mind, she doesn't have a route. So, never mind. She's just going to stay an asshole, maybe. Or maybe we'll get more info about her on another route. It's a possibility. I don't know what to expect about these other routes. They could be, like, nothing, or they could be, like, full other endings. I mean, to be fair, I don't know that she really wants to work for the cops. They just have information about the committee, I think, that she can't get to since she's, like, 17. And quite honestly, I think at this point she only just hangs out with Shinjo to bully him sometimes, so. Oh, that's right, I forgot about our child abduction. Because that's the super fun thing to do. Okay, so at this point, since we are just going through this, do we want to go directly to the good end, or there are two bad ends as well? So do we want, how do we want to do this? Anyway, it seemed like Kunosato knew something. What was she thinking? Why was she holding out? Was she enjoying seeing us confused? Did she enjoy knowing things that we didn't? Yes, she does. Was she trying to assume a bigger role in the story? Why did characters like this always act so arrogant when you saw them in movies and novels? We can indeed save. So, I don't think we're at the route yet, but once we get to the route, we can save. Okay, we can start with the bad ends, yeah. That's the whole point of your character, right? Are you trying to draw out the mystery so you get more screen time? You're just a side character, so know your damn role. Damn. Broke the fourth wall on that one. There was no way I could say that. Yeah, she would beat the shit out of us. So I just had to wait for her to start talking. I will say I'm loving her cosplay replica D-Sword. I think that's cute. All right, we are back with Hinae. She's gonna show us our D-Sword. All right, and we are in chapter 6, which I think the routes start splitting here. So, what I am going to, never mind, we can't do that for the other routes. Let's actually get onto the route and then we can save. I was thinking that like, yeah, we can just save here and then do all the different characters, but no, we've made all the choices for Hinae's route at this point, so we're only getting on to Hinae's route. Look at our friends. Look, one of them didn't murder our little sister, and one of them didn't murder a whole bunch of other people. And was the mastermind behind the entire thing. And Hana just gave us candy. Love her. Go on, girl, give us nothing. Again, love you. I feel like we're gonna find out more about Gen in one of these routes as well, so. Hey, Serika. Once again. Alright, we're about to have our breakdown, which I assume that this is where the route is going to start, because we're gonna see Hinae here. Because we are having some issues, and so will she. Hey, Hinae, love you. Hopefully you love me too. Hi, Diko Haida, that we don't know is Diko Haida yet. That we think is Senri Minamisawa. Alright, yep, we are on the new route. Okay, so we're gonna put it in 2. We'll just do a different save slot for each one.
Let's get out of here. Huh? What are you doing? Hurry!
While I hesitated, Arimura ran past the woman towards the street. The woman slowly stood up. Yeah, it's time to go, Takuru. Damn it. I ran after Arimura before the woman could get up. I ran down many different alleyways and turned on several corners. I didn't even know where I was anymore. I just kept running, sure that if I turned back, that woman would be behind me. I ran. I love how it only took us 45 minutes to get onto the right route, and ran. And ran. And then? All right, true world. Where's Arimura? I'm actually going to save here now that we're on the right route. There we go. Hinae chapter. It even says it. Where did Arimura go? How could she run away and leave me behind? Damn it. And what the hell is wrong with that woman? Why did I mean me, have to go through this? Was it because I'd been investigating the case? Then maybe... Maybe I should have listened to Arimura's warning. Maybe I should have dropped the case right then and there. But back then, I never thought the killer would come after me. And I wasn't trying to catch them. I just thought it was interesting. We were only following the case because it was fun. Yeah, it didn't end fun. God damn it. Was that just how the real world worked? I hadn't done anything wrong. I'd just been doing this for fun. Was that enough to justify killing me? Killing me? If she killed me, I would die. If I died, I'd cease to exist. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I'd disappear. I'd be gone. I wouldn't be able to see anything, hear anything, say anything, eat anything. And that last one is the most important one. Everyone would make a fuss at first. Maybe someone would cry. But they wouldn't really mean it. And they wouldn't do it for long. Before long, they'd all forget about me. Kurisu, Ito, Kazuki, and Serika. I don't think she will. I'd be all alone in an empty, dark world. No one would remember me. No. No. No, 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 no. Anything but that. I heard a noise in front of me. Footsteps. Did she get ahead of me somehow? Could I do it again if I had to? The way I dodged those flames, if that was what Arimura said was my power. But how? I knew it. I had to bring out that sword thing again. There we go. Trespasses on police crime scenes and breaks into private property. I have done nothing wrong in my life ever. But I didn't know how to do it. It wasn't working. I'd been able to do it before because I wasn't thinking about it, but when I tried to do it now, the panic won out. And not only could I not use my powers, I couldn't even see the sword anymore. The footsteps kept getting closer. It was no good. I'd have to run. I mean, I don't know if Serika dies by extension because I don't think we're linked necessarily anymore, but then she would lose her reason to live, so she might die by suicide. So I don't know. Like yes and no, maybe? It was all I could do now. My mind knew I had to run, but my body wouldn't obey. My legs went numb and my heartbeat was deafening. The sweat pouring down my brow got into my eyes, and I didn't even know where I was running anymore. The footsteps from behind got gradually closer. They were almost on top of me. Right around that corner. So close. And look, she's right there. Stay away!
What?
Ah! Ah! Stay away! Stay away from me! Don't come any closer!
Oh, wait, it's me! It's me!
I flailed my arms and legs out at my attacker, who screamed in a surprisingly cute voice. Weird. Weird timing for that, but... Huh? Arimura?
You're safe, huh?
Jeez, don't scare me like that.
I'm the one who got scared. You just screamed all of a sudden.
It's because I thought you were that woman. Wait, what are you doing here? You ran off and left me. Why are you still here?
That's what I'm asking. Why did you run the same direction I did? She might come after me now.
Wait a second. Were you planning on using me as a decoy?
It wasn't like a plan or anything. It's just how things ended up.
Why, you... Look, that's brilliant. Sorry, Takuru. I don't know about that. I bet you really...
Shh.
Arimura suddenly put her hand across my mouth before I could say another word. I was about to complain, but when I saw the look on her face, I shut up and listened.
Huh?
There was no doubt about it. This sound, This time it really was that woman. Ah! There was an explosion, and a shockwave in the air struck me in the face. I could smell something burning within the black smoke that covered my vision. And beyond it, the woman with the empty eyes. Why does this keep happening to me?
Now's not the time to think about it.
I knew that. But what was I supposed to do? I'll just have to try and use my power again.
Can you do it?
I don't know, but I don't have a choice. I forced my shaking legs to turn towards the woman. Her eyes were still empty as she stared at me. I couldn't sense anything in them at all. I couldn't tell what she was thinking or why she was doing this. But I could tell that her eyes were looking at me. She was after me. Please, just one more time. Just one more time. Focus. Focus. Give me power.
Miyashiro! Miyashiro?
I can't do it. I can't. What do we do, Arimura? Ow.
What? Don't tell me that now!
I thought that your powers were always just supposed to activate when things got really bad. Maybe things weren't that easy after all. Oh, wait, can't you use your power to do something?
No, I can't! Shit.
Is the Hinae route that we just get burned to death? Like, I could see the woman raising her hand slowly out of the corner of my eye. This was not good. At this distance, if I got hit with those flames, it was going to be really, really hot. No, hotter than hot. I could burn to death. Even if I didn't die, I'd be badly burned. There was no way I'd be okay. I needed to find some way to run. But how? A spiral of orange light was forming in the woman's hand. Oh, did this mean I was going to die? Was I going to die now? Did dying always feel so unreal? The woman was right on top of us now. A massive whirlpool of flame had formed around her hands. And then she slowly turned her hands toward us. Huh? Huh? And then there was a sudden strange sound as the flames flowed backwards and struck her in the face. She flailed back and fell to her knees. Huh. I looked behind me and saw that Arimura was holding a can of hairspray. Oh, damn! Girl just made a flamethrower. Arimura might not have expected it to do much, but it worked better than she could have possibly imagined. Damn, she is earning that best girl. Arimura was staring in shock at what had just happened. But there wasn't time for that. The woman was slowly starting to look up at us. Arimura's counterattack had made her angry. If she came after us again, we'd be dead. Before that happened, we're getting out of here, Arimura.
What?
I picked up the spray can at my feet and flung it at our attacker, then grabbed Arimura by the hand and ran towards the strange woman. Huh? She must not have expected that, because fortunately we didn't hear any footsteps right away. For now, we needed to lose her and get somewhere safe where we could hide. But the only place we could hide around here was there. If she found that place... No, now wasn't the time to worry about that. I'd have to chance it.
Where are we going?
This way.
Miyashiro!
What?
I can't go on.
Hey, what happened to all that courage you had a moment ago? What are you talking about? We're almost there. Keep going.
Yeah. Fire is the cleanser. You're out of breath too, though. Damn it, did she have to talk back at a time like this?
If we give up here, we might die. Do you understand that?
I do, but...
But Arimura was right. My heart was pounding so loud I thought it might burst. In manga and anime, you always gain incredible stamina in situations like this. Evidently, that didn't really happen, though. It was impossible for a human being to surpass their limits. Maybe I should have exercised more. Obviously, it was too late for that. Still, that didn't mean I could give up. Anyway, just hang in there and
And
I didn't have the strength left to answer her question. We just had to keep going. Even a big city like Shibuya had lots of tiny, overlapping little alleyways off the main streets. And this area was my home, which meant I had the advantage. And it wouldn't be long before I was right. I could hear sirens. Even in an alleyway, someone would have heard all that noise. If the police were here, that woman would have bigger problems than trying to track us down. Okay, now's our chance.
Miyashi?
This way.
Hey, wait!
I lowered my body to the ground and headed further into the darkness.
Miyashiro, this is...
At this point, I'd be able to find my way there blindfolded.
Miyashiro, this place is... just shut up and come inside.
But just hurry. We listened carefully to the sounds around us as we caught our breaths. If we heard her footsteps, we'd recognize them immediately. We could hear the sound of police sirens in the distance. I hoped that the police would catch her and take her away. We just stood there, frozen in prayer, as we waited for time to pass. 5 minutes. Then 10. It wasn't long at all, but it felt like an eternity. If she still hasn't come after us, we're probably okay now. I took a deep breath. All the tension drained from my body, and I slowly sat on the ground.
Are we safe now?
Arimura asked. Yeah, I think so.
I see.
Anyway, that woman, was she the one behind the murders? Then what was her connection to the facility under the hospital? Or was she acting on her own? There still wasn't enough information to tell.
Miyashiro,
What?
I think it's okay now.
I said we're safe now, didn't I?
No, I mean, my hand.
There we go.
That was a life-threatening experience we just survived together. My heart is racing. Want to make out?
Your hand.
Yeah, you're still holding my hand.
Oh. I'd been so desperate to get away from that woman that I hadn't realized it, but it looked like I'd been holding Arimura's hand the whole time. And it wasn't just her hand. She and I were incredibly close. Huh? I quickly jumped back.
Is the reason you took me into a dark place like this that you want to...
No, it wasn't deliberate. I didn't mean anything weird.
I know that. You're clearly not the type.
What did you say?
I don't know how to say it. You know, maybe you're not used to being around girls.
Wait. Don't underestimate me. I'm a normal, whether I look like it or not.
A normal?
The term didn't seem to mean anything to her. Yeah, a normal. Means I have a happy, normal life. I don't know how you might think about me, but I know exactly how to act around a lady.
Wait, where are we?
Listen to me. Arimura had stood up and started to look around the dark room. Yeah, those cool cat presses definitely did us good in this situation.
Ow, I kicked something.
Hey, don't move around and destroy my home.
Home?
That's right. This is my home. Do you know what that means? It means I live here. Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe you faked an arsonist ambushing us just to hold my hand.
I decided it was probably safe now and turned on the lights.
Huh.
Now that she could see, Arimura was looking around the room in surprise. She seemed a lot less on edge than usual, probably because she was pretty sure that the woman wasn't going to come after us anymore. You're probably thirsty, right? I opened up the fridge and took out 2 plastic bottles. Then I handed one to her.
Thank you.
She opened the bottle and took a big swig of it. I finally feel alive now, you know?
What is this stuff?
Mountain View. You haven't heard of it? It's the most highly caffeinated soft drink available in Japan, which acts to stimulate the brain.
Ugh.
Adimura ignored me, even though I was right in the middle of my lecture, and grimaced with her mouth still full of Mountain View. Evidently, she didn't like it.
Is this a trailer house?
No, a trailer house is specifically a vehicle intended to stay in one place most of the time. It's best thought of as a house with wheels. Oh my god, we're such a nerd. But this house is more of a vehicle with living facilities added. It's more properly referred to as a camping car or a camper. What's more, there are several different types of camping cars, ranging from ones that use special frames to converted vans and boxcars.
Why are you living in a place like this?
Would you please let me finish?
You're Kudis's little brother, right? From the orphanage?
That's just what Kurusu calls me. Well, we did live there together for several years. I would have preferred that she didn't ask any more questions about that. If she asked, I'd have to tell her about what happened.
Huh, I see.
Huh? Is that all? You're not going to ask me?
Ask you what?
About me and Kurisu, or why I'm living here alone.
No, you don't want me to, do you?
Yes, we did just mansplain in RVs. For no other reason other than us asking, than her asking, we lived like this. Why do you think that? Oh, maybe it was her power?
Unfortunately, that's incorrect. My power can only tell me if someone's lying or not. It can't tell me what they're thinking.
Then how did she know? Because it's written all over our goddamn face.
But instead, I've become pretty sensitive to how people are feeling, and I can kind of figure out what a person's thinking. Of course, it's easier to just tell with some people than others.
In other words, it's easy to tell with me?
I couldn't say.
Don't try and fool me. My thoughts are so complicated and intricate that it would be impossible to guess them. Oh my god. We're not going to get laid for 50 years. Not with the way that we are, we need to drink some respect women juice.
Huh.
What?
No, I was just surprised that you really believed that.
What does that mean? Yeah.
Damn, bitch, you live like this?
Actually, I live like,
Then can I ask you about what we were talking about before?
Well, maybe it was easy to tell what I was thinking.
Then can I ask you something else?
Something else?
You're a normal, right?
That's right. That's what I was talking about before. I'm a normal, so I know how to talk to a girl.
Do normals read magazines like this?
Arimoto picked up one of the magazines scattered at her feet.
Cool Cat Press. Everything from meeting a girl to getting laid.
I quickly reached out to grab it, but she dodged me easily.
Let's see. Kenji Minamikata, I can't get a girlfriend. What do I do? Just bring her to your room and pin her down and she'll do whatever you want.
Oh god. Don't read it! I reached out my hand again to grab the magazine from her. Disclaimer, do not do that, in case anyone needed the disclaimer right there. But I'd run so far and was so exhausted that even that was enough to throw me off balance. And as a result...
Huh?
Huh? Well, don't do the thing that I literally just said not to do. All right, so we are going for a bad end. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll do a save really quick. We're gonna go ahead and do some negatives. Yeah, just trigger all delusions negative. Why was she looking at me that way? Wait, this was just like,
Miyashiro, you don't...
I don't... No, wait. Did I really not... Minamikata had said it after all. If you pin a woman down, she'll do whatever you want. Oh, I don't want to do the positive. And she actually wanted you to. I didn't actually believe it, but maybe it was true and I just didn't know it. Then maybe... Oh, absolutely. Hinae is going to make that whole if we're both still single pact with us and then get married right before we hit the set age. She absolutely would do that. Actually, there was a whole special on it, wasn't there? It was the July 1999 issue, I think. That bratty little girl a year or two younger than you is actually just waiting for you to make a forceful move. Oh no. Did I just get us into? A forceful move. That meant, that's right. I'm actually responsible for everything that happened.
Huh? Everything?
I mean, everything, including that woman back there. Oh my god, chat, you anticipated this.
What? Then you were the one who told her to attack us? But why?
To bring you here, of course. Oh god. Oh god. I grabbed her by the wrists and pinned her to the bed. Adimura looked at me in surprise. Huh? And laughed? Why was she laughing? Adimura? What's so funny?
How could I not laugh? You set it up? You brought me here?
Wow, that's just hilarious. Adimura stood and put her fingers up to her jaw. And then, with a strange crackling sound, she started to rip off her own face. What the fuck? She's gone crazy, I screamed in panic. Huh? She ripped off her own skin, and I could see the muscle and bone beneath. No, wait. Instead, I saw. Your. I found you. It was that woman from before. How could you run away? That's so mean. Her eyes glistened with madness as she got closer to me. To be fair, that's what we get for, like, this feels like we deserved this. This is a joke, right? Why?
You know why. To burn you to ash. She slowly raised her hand, and then the first burst came forth.
Ah!
Burn! Burn!
It was so hot. I felt like I was going to vomit from the stench of burning hair and skin. I opened my mouth to breathe, and a wave of fire ran down my throat. Yeah, we did have this coming.
More! Writhe! Suffer! This is my pain! This is my joy!
Please, please, no!
No what?
Huh?
I said no, what?
Animura was looking at me in confusion. Oh, no, nothing.
Well, whatever. Mind getting off of me? Or else I'll.
Sorry! I leapt off of her and started to grab the magazines off the floor.
Those magazines?
These aren't what they look like. I'd screwed up. I'd never imagined that a younger girl would see these.
What do they look like?
They. Oh, right. No matter what kind of excuse I came up with, Arimura would realize it was a lie. Gigalomaniacs. What an obnoxious power. What are you laughing at?
I was just thinking that you really are easy to figure out.
Sorry for being easy to understand.
There's nothing to apologize for. It makes it easier to hang out with you. Oh, I don't mean hang out with you in like a weird way or anything.
You don't need to tell me that, I know. Even I wasn't dumb enough to misunderstand that.
I hope so.
Arimura slowly stood up and looked out the window. You could still hear the faint noises of police and fire truck sirens in the distance. Come to think of it, I'd already forgotten that I almost died out there. Why? No, there was no need to ask why. It was because of Arimura. If I was here alone, I'd probably still be shaking. I wasn't trying to say that after what happened, Arimura was now someone special to me or anything like that. But in the past few hours, the thick wall between the two of us felt like it had gotten a little thinner.
Okay, it's time for me to leave.
You're leaving?
I can't stay here forever. Or are you going to tell me I should spend the night here?
I'm not. Damn it, she was making fun of me.
Don't worry, I'll stick to the streets with lots of people. I can't imagine her doing anything with all these police out anyway.
She was probably right, I thought. But, want me to walk you home?
Why?
Because I'm worried, of course.
Worried? About me?
I mean, you're a girl after all. It's a man's duty to walk you home.
That's what Cool Cat Press had said.
No, that's just part of the path to the bad end. So we're going to do a bunch of negative delusions and it's going to lead us on to the path to death, I'm assuming.
Did you get that from the magazine too?
No.
You really are easy to figure out.
Damn it, I give up. That's part of it, but I really do think that it's dangerous out there. What?
You're telling the truth, huh?
Huh?
No, nothing. Thanks for the offer, but I'm all right.
Arimura cheerfully walked towards the exit and stopped and turned around before she got to the door.
Thanks for your help today. You saved my life. Or at least we'll say that you did. Adios, gracias.
She bowed her head slightly and left. She didn't even have to say the "will say" part. Strangely, though, it didn't bother me. Anyway, gigalomaniacs, huh? I'd use some kind of power to control that woman's flames. Arimura had said that was my power, but that was the only time I'd been able to use it. Let's try this again. I took a deep breath to calm myself. My power. At first, it was so hazy I had to focus to see it at all. But gradually, it began to form a definite shape in the corner of my eye. It was twisted yet beautiful, disgusting yet pure. Its very presence was so overwhelming that it was impossible to believe that it belonged to this world. I reached out my hand, fearfully, but I couldn't even touch it. What had I done before? That's right, when she'd attacked me with her flames, Was this my... Huh? It was just a message. That scared me. It was from Arimura.
I made it home safe.
I was surprised she'd be thoughtful enough to let me know. Either way, I was glad nothing had happened. After I put down the phone, I tried a lot of different ways to strengthen my power, and then at some point I fell asleep. I wouldn't know until morning what had happened to the woman after that. 2005. They say that every person has a single image, somewhere in their mind, that defines who they are. For Hinae Arimura, that image was of her family, seated around a dinner table. Oh, look at her! She's so cute! Her mom and dad, and her brother. The four of them sitting around the table. That image, more than anything else, defined the kind of person that Hinae was. Her mom and dad both worked, and on weekdays they'd often come home late. Sometimes they didn't even come home at all. But Hinae never felt alone. She was never alone because she had an older brother. Her parents had told her that when she was born, he'd been the happiest boy in the world. But she didn't need to hear that to know how much she meant to her brother. Hinae had always had a pretty face ever since she was a baby, and she'd always been popular. But her brother loved her more than anyone. Whenever Hinae cried, he'd always tried to make her feel better, and when it was time for her to sleep, he'd rock her in his arms. He was in one of the older classes at elementary school, and he'd probably wanted to play with his friends. He'd had a lot of friends, actually, and every day they'd invite him over. But he would always turn them down and come straight home to be with Hinae. With their parents working so much, he'd spend a lot of time alone in the house. He probably didn't want Hinae to go through the same thing. Normally, acting like that would cost him his friends, but that had never happened. He was just that good of a big brother. As Hinae got older, she became more and more like a young girl, and her brother loved her even more. Yeah, I will say, I am really liking Hinae. As much as I joke about her, because she's easy to joke about, like, she is a really good character so far. Her parents decided that Hinae could be safely left in her brother's care and started to come home even later. But every Sunday they were always home. Sometimes they'd all go out somewhere for the day and then come back in the evening to eat at the dinner table. That was the rule at the Arimura household. There was always warm food, and her family was always smiling. That was what happiness meant to her. It was something so natural and so normal that she never doubted it. And it was the truth.
Wow, so that's what happened last night.
Yeah, it was awful. The first thing I did when I got to school the next morning was tell Serika what had happened. I had no way of knowing what had happened to that woman after that. I checked the news when I woke up, but not only did I not find a name, I couldn't even find anyone reporting on the attack. But there were a lot of people on the social networks talking about the strange woman. After all that chaos, the police had to have known about her. Still, I didn't know what would happen next. I was a little hesitant to go to school, but I figured she wouldn't be willing to attack me in broad daylight. And since I'd made it here safely, I must have been right.
So what happened then?
What happened? I took Arimura to my room.
Your room? You mean that RV?
What else could I mean?
Just the two of you?
Of course, it's not like I was going to bring the woman who tried to kill us.
I see.
It felt like she was implying something. What are you grinning about?
I mean, you alone with a girl in your room? That's amazing, isn't it?
How rude. Listen, I've told you this 1,000 times before. I'm a normal. This is nothing for me.
Then have any other girls been to your room since you moved there?
Many times.
Any who weren't me or none? See, it was your first time, right? Right?
Shut up.
So, did something happen?
Serika's voice dropped into a conspiratorial whisper as she grinned at me. What do you mean, something?
Aw, don't be silly. You know what I mean.
Of course not. We were almost killed. We had bigger things to worry about.
Oh, come on. I bet you liked it.
I did not.
Oh? Who do I spy with my little eye?
I turned around and saw Arimura herself waving at us. Arimura?
Yep, it's me, Arimura. Miyashiro, ciao.
Yeah. Arimura was acting nothing like the way that she did last night in my room, and I wasn't sure how to deal with it. But I guess she was always like this at school.
Seri, ciao to you too. Ciao, Hina.
At least she hadn't heard what we were talking about. Time to change the subject.
So? You didn't what?
Did you hear what we were saying?
About you liking something? Or maybe not liking it? What were you talking about? Come on, tell me. Well, you see...
I didn't. It's nothing important. Her voice was chipper, but her eyes weren't laughing at all. That's right, there was no way I could lie to Arimura. We were just talking about yesterday, is all.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you like it? Yesterday, huh? I see.
Huh? That must have been good enough for her. I'd expected her to be more suspicious. Oh, that's right. Arimura could only tell if I was lying or telling the truth. In other words, I was safe as long as I didn't tell her everything. Maybe I could use that with Arimura in the future.
Oh, right. Miyashiro, look at this.
Arimura gently rubbed her hair, which she'd tied up to the side. Did you do something with your hair?
Can't you tell? Here, look. It got fried after what happened last night.
Where? I got closer to look, but I couldn't really tell.
Look, right here.
Oh, you're right. But it's not a big deal, right?
Not a big deal, my good sir. Don't you realize how important a girl's hair is to her? It's your fault for not dealing with that woman sooner anyway.
That's not even remotely fair. Right, Onoe? Onoe?
Miyashiro, what happened to Seri?
Oh, she's always been like this. Don't worry about it. She was probably thinking about something stupid again. But if I asked about it, I'd probably have a mess on my hands.
Hmm. Oh, right. Actually, Miyashiro, about your power.
She was whispering, so I whispered too. Oh, I wanted to talk about that too. Yeah.
My hair is so soft now that I'm using the shampoo at your bathroom. Thanks for letting me use it. That power. You mean the one where you can see that sword? Hey, Seti, you don't know who might be listening, so don't talk so loud. Sorry. Anyway, Miyashiro.
Yeah, I've actually learned to control it a little. Maybe.
What? Does that mean you have a mysterious power too? Seti! Oops.
After what had happened yesterday, I'd been tired, but I'd done what I could to learn more about my power. It looked like I needed to use someone else's brain to make my illusions real, so I asked Gen to be my guinea pig. Knowing Gen, he'd be so drunk that he'd forget after a day or so. As a result, I can move things that aren't too heavy.
How light are we talking about?
Like a rock? No, a little tinier maybe?
A notebook then?
A couple pages?
What? The only thing you could use that for is flipping up girls' skirts.
And we did, on accident. It might not be anything special right now, but eventually I'll be able to move stuff that's heavier. Setika, you jerk. I tried really hard. But still, flipping up skirts, huh? I see, I hadn't thought of that. It's okay, if we didn't think about it, Ito would. Oh, no, I can't. Wait to see how we fuck this one up. Time for another negative delusion. I'd overlooked that. What a brilliant idea. But I couldn't do it here. No, but this might be a good chance to show off my powers. Why would this be a good chance to show off your powers, man? Teenage boys' brains, like, oh god. And what's more, Sedika, this is your fault to begin with. Do you know how hard I worked just to move one tiny little object? I'd barely gotten a wink of sleep last night. It was the least she could do after all that effort. Alright, how are they gonna murder us?
Stare.
I suddenly realized that Sedika was staring at me. Oh yeah, because she can read minds. Oh no. What?
You're thinking of something naughty again, aren't you, Taka?
Shit. Yeah, Ito, do you want us to flip your skirt with our powers? No, then fuck off. What are you talking about? I'm not.
That's a lie. You were, weren't you?
Shit. That's right. Arimura's here.
You were probably thinking about something perverted again, weren't you?
I was not.
That's another lie. So he definitely was.
This was going nowhere. I was just digging myself into a deeper hole. But if I answered by shaking my head, I'd be basically admitting it. Hinae Arimura's power made her a formidable foe.
So, what shall we do, Hina?
Huh? What do you mean?
I think perverts do need to be punished.
Punished? Depending on what they had in mind, that might actually be a good thing. No, I don't think so with these two.
Got any good ideas? I want something that'll stop him from ever getting thoughts like that again. That's right! Why not blind him?
Huh?
Oh, I like that. If he can't see anything, he won't be able to think anything naughty again.
Oh, wait a second. That's going just a little too far just because I thought...
Don't worry, Taka. It won't hurt.
No, that's not the issue.
Miyashiro?
Right. Couldn't I use my power to distract them somehow? If I could knock and move something or destroy it, they'd turn their attention towards that. And then I could run. Okay. I concentrated for a moment, and when the D-sword appeared, I focused on it. Now I could... Suddenly, Arimura's face contorted with pain.
Hina?
Yeah, exactly. Punished for thought crimes, but also we were totally gonna commit it for real.
It hurts.
What's wrong, Hina?
Ah, ah.
Arimura screamed as she writhed in pain, clutching her right arm. It wasn't an act, it was a real scream. I could see red blood falling down from the end of her arm, forming a puddle on the floor.
Ah,
Arimura screamed even louder. And in the next moment,
ah.
it exploded. Arimura's right hand swelled up like a fruit with a firecracker in it and then exploded from the inside. The tiny fragments of flesh splattered across the windows, the wall, and my face, too. Arimura fell to the floor, holding her hand.
What is this? Did you do this, Taka?
No!
You're lying.
I could hear her moaning on the cold floor.
It was you, Miyashiro. Taka.
Uh, no, I didn't mean to. Ah!
Hey, Seri, what's gotten into Miyashiro? Don't worry about him. He's always like that.
So in this case, point P. Huh. Arimura and I had decided it would be better not to use my power for a while. No matter what that woman was after, it was very likely that it had something to do with our powers, which meant that I should avoid doing anything that would attract attention. And everybody knew when you had a trump card like this, it was best to master it in secret and play it at the right moment. So if you plug this into the formula... Anyway, why was math always such a pain? I wanted information, not formulas. Numbers and formulas were just ideas and didn't provide any benefit at all as information. At times like this... I took out my Pokecom and hid it under my desk, then loaded Shibuya News. What? What's wrong, Miyashiro? Oh, no, nothing. I see. Solve this next problem, then. Crap, that was a mistake. But this was big news. Exactly, our power is really only good for flipping skirts and blowing up hands. Hey, big news! Big news! I heard the door to the club room fly open, and Ito ran inside. What is it? Why are you yelling?
Why are you so calm, Miyashiro? News! And big news, too! Listen carefully. The person behind the New Generation Madness has been...
They were arrested, right?
That's right!
Huh?
What? You already knew?
Of course I did. Who do you think I am? I call myself the biggest right-sider in the school for a reason. Everything you learn, I learned a long time ago.
Then what about the information on the girl they caught?
Nico Haida, age 18, unemployed, was arrested by a police officer last night on suspicion of being behind several arson cases in Shibuya, right?
So you did already know, huh?
That sucks. I was sure I'd beaten you to the punch this time. To tell the truth, I'd just found out about it in math class. But that's how information worked. Knowing things first put you at an advantage. That said, I was overjoyed to know that the woman who'd attacked me had been arrested. Now I wouldn't have to be afraid of being attacked again. I mean, look, right-sider, right-winger. At this point, is there really any difference?
But is it really good for the newspaper club that they were caught?
What do you mean, Onoe?
Because if the case got even bigger, that means we could have gotten a bigger scoop, right?
That's right, I guess. I guess in that sense it is bad news.
What do you think, Taka? Did you want to keep chasing the case?
I wasn't sure. It was true that the bigger this caught, the more that people would be paying attention. No, I think it's for the best. Huh, I didn't expect you to be so passive. I figured you'd want more stuff to happen. You're making it sound like I want people to die. Listen up, just so we're clear, I'm not a psychopath. I don't want people to get murdered. I want to know the truth about the murders that have already happened. To tell the truth, I was a little disappointed that the case had ended this way. But half of me felt relieved too. Anybody who'd been the target of a murder attempt could understand how terrifying it was for me to have that woman with those strange powers try to kill me. There were ways to deal with a physical attack. but her power violated all the laws of physics. It was a miracle I'd made it away from her alive at all. So I was honestly glad that the woman, Haida, had gotten caught. Well, I'm a little disappointed. Now that the police have her, they'll be taking everything over. Just like Ono said, if things dragged on a little longer, even more people would have been paying attention to the case, and if I'd been the one to solve it, the newspaper club would be famous. But there's no point in complaining about that now.
Wait, does that mean the case we've been following is all over?
Yeah, I would never wish for people to die just so I could be the hero that solves their murders. That would be awful. Well, before I could give my opinion, the door opened.
Ciao, everybody! Hinae is here!
Hanimura, what are you doing here?
How can you be so cruel? We went through the fight of our lives together. Oh, right. When Miyashiro was attacked, you were there too, weren't you? That's right. This scary lady showed up, and then everything went boom, kaboom, wham! It was really nuts.
She was waving her hands in an exaggerated manner as she spoke, but it was impossible to figure out what she was trying to say.
I see. So this is the newspaper club? It's your first time here, actually, isn't it, Hina? Nope. I was here once before, on the day of the culture festival, but it didn't really feel like the right time to poke around.
Adimura walked around the room, staring at everything, and stopped in front of the corkboard on the wall.
Oh, this is cool. It's like a detective show.
Right? It's got all our observations on the case.
Hey, Seri, what's this? Oh, that's...
She wasn't listening at all.
So, Miyashiro, about what we were talking about before.
Oh, yeah, before. What was that?
About whether the case was over.
Oh, right. I was thinking about that.
What you talking about?
Until a moment ago, she was enjoying her conversation with Serika, but now Adimura happily butted into ours. We were talking about the case. You heard the woman who attacked us got arrested, right? So...
Huh? That scary woman was arrested?
What, you didn't know? She had friends in a lot of places and seemed like she'd be really quick to pick up on new information. So I was surprised to see she was actually a wrong-sider.
Geez, if the cops caught her, they should have told us.
That's right. We almost got burned to a crisp.
I know, right? And after all they made us do for them. That's why nobody can trust the cops these days. You can complain about the police some other time. Miyashiro, what are you thinking?
Right. Listen, if you look back on all the murders that have happened so far... First, there were the murders, and then there were the fires as well. I decided to think about the relationship between the two of them. The first thing I had to do was go over all the cases that had happened so far. All the cases that had happened so far formed what people were calling the return of the new generation madness. The first murder was Don't Look at Me, the death of Ootani, the Nico Nia live streamer. And the second, Leaky Noise, Momone Takayanagi, the anime song singer. And the third was, that's right, Revolving Dead. That's where Adimura's acquaintance, Kakita, had been killed. I remembered that one clearly as well. I'd been there, after all. And the next one? The fourth murder was another one I'd never forget. Gotsuan Death, where Watabe the internet reporter had died at the school culture festival. Those were the four murders that had happened so far. The problem was what happened next. The fires. The fires had happened near the Don't Look at Me incident in Jinnan, near the Leaky Noise incident in Shinsen, near the Revolving Dead incident around the Love Hotel, near the Gotsuan Death incident, in other words, near Haikyuu Academy. That's right, the fires were happening regularly near the sites of the New Generation Madness. So we know that the fires are taking place near the sites of the murders. It would be strange to think that they weren't connected somehow. I concluded that the fires were all set by Riko Haida, the pyrokinetic gigalomaniac.
But then why are the methods used so different? The murders didn't involve arson.
That's because... Why? I know. The arson incidents were just practiced. She practiced, but it didn't go well, so she chose a different method. What? You don't look satisfied. If you've got an opinion, say it.
I don't know if it counts as an opinion, but then what about that lab?
Arimura seemed annoyed at Ito's inability to finish his sentence and interrupted with a doubt of her own. That lab? You mean the one in the basement?
That's right. Do you think the research they did there had nothing to do with the case?
Well, it probably did, but the experiments that were performed down there ended with the earthquake. So it would be strange for her to just suddenly start killing people now. When I told Arimura that, she still didn't look satisfied.
You know about Kakita, right?
Um, the victim of a revolving dead, right? I think.
Yeah, I told you he was a friend of my brother's, right?
I remembered that she had.
I can tell you the truth about this now. He was investigating psychics like us, and he said that there might be some huge organization behind all this.
A huge organization, huh? Sounds like a conspiracy theory to me. What was its name?
He was supposed to tell me on the day of the incident, but
He died. No, he was murdered. Then you're trying to say that the killer wasn't Riko Haida?
that's not it. I'm not smart enough to figure that out anyway. But even if she was the killer, I think there might be someone else behind her.
What do you think, Ito?
I always did love conspiracy theories, but it just doesn't seem very realistic. Either way, there's not enough information to make that call right now.
What about you, Onoe?
Me? What do you think, Taka?
Don't answer a question with a question.
Sure, but I really don't know.
If you don't know, at least try to think about it, okay? Fine, I'll tell you my own opinion. I don't want to get attacked again, so I hope she is the killer. To be honest, I still thought it was a miracle I'd made it out of that alive. If she'd attacked me when I was asleep, I wouldn't have lasted a minute. Now we just wait to see what the police say. Whether she was the killer or not, it would be a good idea to be careful for a while now.
I think so too. We talked about this at lunch, but I think that both you and I need to be extra careful because of our powers.
I silently nodded. Normally, I'd want to practice and try to learn to better control my abilities, but it would be smarter to wait and see if the case had ended first. All right, for now, we'll just be careful. And just as we finished, we heard the sound of someone pounding the wall in the corner again. Hey, Hana. Sheesh, again? Hey, Kazuki. She was so busy with SO2, she couldn't hear us again. On the way.
Okay.
Sirika nodded, went over to Kazuki, and took off her headphones.
Hey, Hana, Taku says no pounding the wall. Miyashiro, who's that?
Huh? Oh, I guess you never saw her before. Hana Kazuki. She's a first-year student and a member of our club.
Wow, I didn't even realize she was there.
Arimura walked over to her. New besties.
Ciao.
Kazuki bowed her head.
I'm Hinae Arimura. Call me Hina if you want. I can call you, Hana, right?
She bowed again.
I'm sorry, can you say that out loud? Oh, no, Hana doesn't talk. She doesn't? Why? Religious reasons or something? I don't know why, but she doesn't talk. Right?
She bowed.
Not a word? Not a word. I see. I guess that's fine. It makes things easier, so... Since we're friends now, let's shake hands.
Kazuki was still hesitant, but Arimura grabbed her hand and swung it around. That was probably her version of a handshake. Yeah, you hussy, we had that whole moment at your house with magazines and soda, and this is what you did behind my back? What surprised me was that Kazuki didn't seem upset. I thought that she'd resist Arimura's attempt to force them to be friends, but she seemed kind of embarrassed. But then something amazing happened.
Nice to meet you, Hana.
As Arimura swung her arm around.
Nice to meet you. Maybe. Huh?
Huh?
Hey, was that...
Kazuki talked? The whole room shouted in amazement. We'd known Hana for about 6 months, and this was the first time we'd heard her voice. But Hana herself seemed more surprised than anyone. It felt like she didn't intend to speak, but had just been caught up in Arimura's energy.
Wow, you have a cute voice. You should talk more. Come on, say something else. Ready, go. Come on, you can do it. Just a little. It doesn't have to be a lot.
She wasn't going to say anything else, it seemed.
I can't believe that Kazuki would... She really can talk, huh?
It's Arimura's energy that scares me most of all. Everything we talked about that day seemed pretty important, but it was all blown away by our shock at Kazuki actually speaking.
We're done. Yes. Hey, let's go someplace on the way back.
3 days had passed since the attack by Nikohaida. There'd been no new events with the case. The police were probably still investigating Nikohaida. They hadn't announced anything else. There must have been some kind of censorship in effect because the TV shows had mostly stopped talking about it. The only people who were still talking about it were online. The wrong-siders at school seemed to have forgotten that a murder occurred in this very building.
Oh, what's wrong? Why the sigh?
Kurisu was looking down over me. Her injury from the other day still hadn't fully healed. But Dad had told her that she'd be able to go back to school, and so today she had. It's nothing, really.
Yeah, right. You're probably hoping that something else happens with the case, aren't you?
I'm not, no.
Listen, Takara, you were almost killed. Even if they caught the woman, you're still in danger. And you agreed that even if you're not going after this case, you could still have fun, right? Don't forget that.
I know that.
Do you really? Then...
Shut up. I just said I know. You don't have to keep saying the same thing over and over. I'm not a kid. Knowing Kurisu, I was ready for her to be even more annoying. But...
You're right. I'm sorry.
Huh? I wasn't sure how to react to that.
You're right. You're doing what you're doing for a reason. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. Just don't do anything dangerous, please.
I know. Kurisu smiled weakly, took her bag, and left the room. What was that? It was throwing me off.
Taka!
I ran into Serika when I left the classroom. Actually, she was probably waiting for me.
I wanted to see if you wanted to go home together.
I didn't really say anything, but Serika started walking next to me anyway.
I saw what just happened.
You mean with Kurisu?
You shouldn't act like that. Non's still recovering. You need to be nice.
I didn't mean to... That's right. I hadn't meant to hurt her. But Kurisu always had to be right, no matter what. She'd been like that ever since we lived together at Alba Dorm. Sometimes it was frustrating to deal with someone who was always right. After I'd made my promise with Kurisu, I was still watching the news and looking online, but I'd been trying my best to avoid anything else. For the past few days, I'd been staying quiet. I'd even canceled the club meeting for today, and I was trying my best not to think about how bored I was. But the way she said it, it still made me out to be the bad guy. Oh.
Huh? What's wrong?
I forgot something. I'd been thinking so much I'd gotten distracted. Sorry, I've got to go back and get it. Go home without me.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I'd been spacing out lately. Maybe I was just too bored. Oh, here it is. Even if I'd gotten in a fight with Kurisu, I still couldn't believe I'd forget my Pokécomb. Just as I grabbed my Pokécomb and went to leave, I saw a familiar pair of blonde twin tails bobbing down the hallway. Arimura. She was cheerfully walking down the hall with a group of several other girls. Were they classmates or friends from her club? It was the same group of girls I'd seen before.
Anyway, so I saw Haruka walking with Hinae a while ago. No way! You're kidding me! I thought she was close with Shirai. Wait, Ina, that was forever ago. After Shirai, there was all that stuff with Morimoto. No way! I had no idea. Nobody told me about this. Well, you seem to have a lot going on at the time. Wow, that's a real shock. Anyway, I wish you'd tell me how to be popular with guys like that. I'm not doing it because I want to. I know that. We all agreed it was Shirai's fault, right? That's right. We all know you're a good girl, Haruka. There. Wow, a lot's going on in the world, huh? Stop it. You sound like an old woman. Nah, I can't keep up with you youngsters these days.
What? That's hilarious.
Anyway, how are you for time? Oh, crap, you're right. Wait, you're not coming, Hina? I'm too old for this stuff. I'll let you young people handle it.
Oh, cut it out.
Anyway, see you. Okay, adios, gracias.
Evidently, Arimura wasn't going with the rest of the group. She watched them disappear down the hallway, laughing and chattering as they went, and then she sighed loudly. And then, as if she really was an old woman, she lazily put her hand on her shoulder and stretched her neck out. And then,
Oh,
our eyes met.
tell me, Asiro.
I.
Did you see that?
Do you mean the conversation you just had, or how lazy you looked a second ago?
Whoops, you saw both, huh?
That was a screw up. She slapped her hand to her forehead like a bad comedian and smiled. Why don't you go with them?
Ah, geez, you should be able to guess. It's a pain in the ass.
Her happy tone vanished and she seemed genuinely annoyed.
They're all shallow. They say things they don't mean, they pretend to have fun. You disagree about the slightest thing, and next time you're out of the group. That Haruka girl you just saw goes from one boy to another. She especially likes taking other people's boyfriends. She makes them break up, and then as soon as they do, she gets bored and dumps the guy. Everyone else is pissed off at her, but they're playing along and laughing. It's the same with Rie and Maki. They both said she was a good girl, but neither of them believe it. But they just smile and play along and pretend to be friends.
Yeah, this is very much I'm not like other girls in energy.
It's stupid and it makes me sick. Just the idea of hanging out with them after school, too, makes me want to throw up.
I'd heard Arimura talk like this several times before. Sometimes it had been directed at me. But it felt like she was more emotional now than she'd ever been before. Everybody told a lie or two. But if you didn't know when other people were lying, it was still possible to trust them. But once you knew when they were lying, once you knew what they were thinking under their smiles, could you still trust them like you did before? I didn't think I could. Maybe knowing if what you were told was true or not was a lot more painful than we thought it was. I remembered what Arimura had written for her wish during the school festival.
Please let the truth be found.
That tiny wish was a cry from her soul.
But
her voice was a whisper.
I hate myself most of all for hanging out with them anyway.
Arimura.
Just kidding.
She tried to go back to her usual self and give me a mischievous wink, but she must have realized that it didn't work. She scratched her head, looking awkward.
Oh, geez, don't make that face. I don't know how to deal with it.
Hey, can I ask you something?
What?
Why are you telling me this?
Huh?
You and I just met. Until a little while ago, we could barely even talk. So why are you telling me this?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm a gigolomaniac just like you?
Well, that's probably part of it,
But
it's probably because you're so easy to figure out.
I'm easy to figure out?
You're the type who can't hide what they're feeling, right? When you lie, you start to get all flustered.
Don't be stupid. I've got my poker face on at all times. That's impossible.
See, just like that.
No, that was just...
Oh? It was just what?
It felt like the more I tried to respond, the more I was digging my own grave.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Taka.
Serika came back. She must not have gone home after all. Onoe? What's up? Did you forget something too?
No, that's not right. You were taking so long that I decided to come check on you.
Serika ran up to me and pouted. I told you to go home without me.
True, but remember what you said this morning? You needed a new smartphone, and I figured if you were going to get one, I should come too.
Come to think of it, I never did find my phone. According to Shinjo, that Yamazoe girl had thrown it away. As for the photo, It was sad, but if it wasn't coming back, there was nothing I could do about it. I talked to Sedika this morning about how I needed to get a new one, but
Huh? Oh, it's Hina.
you just noticed her?
Ciao, City. Ciao. Oh, Hina, you want to come too? We're getting a new smartphone.
Hey, who said we're going today?
Huh? We're not?
Whatever.
Oh, I'll pass. It would be awkward if I ran into my friends. Yeah? I'm not sure I follow, but that's too bad. All right, I'm off. Adios, gracias.
This time she posed like a salaryman ninja from an old manga and then skipped off towards home. Hey, Onoe?
Huh?
Am I easy to figure out?
Yeah.
She didn't hesitate at all.
What's wrong, Taku? You look down.
It's nothing. I'd always considered myself inscrutable and mysterious, so that was a bit of a shock.
Anyway, Hina's so much fun, isn't she?
Is she?
You were having fun talking to her.
Fun? Me? Talking to Arimura? Sure, that whole you're gonna be killed thing when we first met scared the hell out of me. But when I actually talked to her, I found out she wasn't that scary at all. I never was really good at dealing with normals. In the common sense of the word, mind you, not the superior original sense. But Arimura felt different than the others. Part of it was that she was a gigglomaniac too. But the biggest reason was probably that she was always keeping her distance from other people. She kept a comfortable distance to avoid making anybody upset. She'd learned how to do it through long practice. And in that sense, it's fun. Or, well, I don't mind it, I guess.
I see.
What? Why do you look so happy?
Nothing. Anyway, are we gonna get that phone?
Nah, I think I'll pass for today.
Yeah? I should have just gone home then.
That's what I told you to do. There still might be a lot of sumo stickers in town. I should stay put for a while.
That sucks. Maybe I'll go invite Nan and we can eat some sweets.
Do that. I'm sure it would make Kurisu happy.
Okay. See you, Taka.
Right. Now then. Maybe I should go home and read the latest edition of Cool Cat Press, which Gen brought me yesterday. 2005. Smiles. There were always smiles in Arimura's family back then.
Look, Hina. You've got some cream stuck on your lips. Oh, wow. Get it off, brother.
Fine, fine. There, I got it.
Thanks.
You really do love your big brother, don't you?
That's right. But it's always such a big help to have Shingo take care of Hina.
Keep it up, Shingo. Mom and Dad were both busy with work. Sometimes they'd have to sleep at the company, and they didn't spend a lot of time at home. But when they were with the family, they always smiled. And Hinae had a big brother, too. Just having her brother by her side was enough for her not to feel lonely. She could, and did, believe that she was part of a happy family. For young Hinae, that was her whole family. That was what was true for her. One day, Hinae was bullied a little at school. It started with something small. Someone said that they lost the basketball game in gym class because of her. Hinae was a tiny little girl, and the big ball scared her. When they passed it to her, she ducked away. When her brother Shingo saw that she was down, he immediately asked her, "What's wrong? Is someone bullying you?" Hinae shook her head.
No, I'm not being bullied.
She was embarrassed. She didn't want her family to know that someone was mad at her for something. So she lied. But her brother had known immediately that she wasn't telling the truth. "Hinae, lying is wrong. Whatever you do, don't tell lies. I don't want you turning into that kind of coward." It was the first time she'd seen her brother look so strict. Her brother hated lies more than anybody. She'd been so impressed by her beloved brother that she'd sworn to herself that she'd never tell a lie. She couldn't grow up to be a coward. She wasn't going to tell any lies.
Actually,
Hinae had told her brother everything. That she'd been bullied at school. That it was over something that had happened at gym class. "Want to practice with me then?"
Can I?
"Sure. If you get good, nobody will be mad anymore." With her brother's help, Hinae got over her fear. And the bullying stopped, and her friends came back. She came to love her brother even more. But one day, Hinae realized that all her happiness was an illusion. It started when she witnessed her parents cheating. All right, I think we're going to end here for tonight. I apologize, my throat is a little bit hoarse. Gonna put this in a new save slot. All right. So next stream tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. I don't have any announcements or anything. So thanks for hanging out tonight. Hopefully there's not too much of Chaos Child that we've done for the last couple of days. We've had a lot, but thank you. We will talk tomorrow. Have a good night, all. Bye. Oops. Give me a second to